Hi, guys. Uh, in 2021, deep in the clutches of COVID 19, I was presented with an opportunity. I had access to an outdoor space and freedom to do with it as I pleased. A friend suggested putting up a farmer's market, and I thought it was a good idea, but I wasn't particularly passionate about organic produce. I'm one of those people who buy healthy veggies only to throw them away a week later after they've rotted beyond repair. But I like to shop, and I love small batch, sustainable, handmade, unique things. I've always been drawn to such spaces and brands, and so I figured with so many new small businesses popping up on Instagram, I'd curate a little maker's market. Little did I know that one tiny market with 20 vendors and 400 of our collective friends and family would convert into us organizing events for more than 20,000 people in 2 different cities, all within the span of 2 years. Hi, my name is Sitwat, and I am an addict. My addiction, however, unlike the usual variety, is fueled by watching large groups of people enter a space I have created and see them have fun. It's weird, I know. In these 2 years, we've organized events such as huge marketplaces in Karachi and Lahore, movie nights for couples on Valentine's Day, Halloween nights for children, events for girls, and currently an Instagram museum unlike anything else found in Pakistan. It's an addiction, I know I can't stop. In this time, I have met countless amazing women with inspiring stories and immense talent, and together we have grown and built our businesses. If it weren't for these women, I wouldn't be here. Our stories are not of pain and adversity, but rather of drive and ambition. The Commons Karachi is a space for smart, educated, risk-taking entrepreneurs who are willing to leave their kids at home as they stand in the heat for hours, work endlessly and tirelessly to hand-make their products, learn accounting, marketing, Instagramming, and doing it all on their own, because that is what it means to be a small business owner. We are a community of strong superwomen who are willing to take life by the horns and say, I will make a space for myself here, and not taking no for an answer. Our community is led by women who show up for themselves, for their kids, their peers, and often have a husband, brother, or father in tow to support them, as do I. We are a group of boss ladies, and I cannot be prouder to be at the forefront of this movement. Now, the topic I was given today was how to create a safe space for communities, and I'll be honest, I have no playbook. I don't have any strategies or rules. I work purely by instinct and good vibes. But the more I thought about it, the simpler it became for me. We are a safe space because we are led primarily by women. At the Commons Karachi, we come together to support one another. We come together to build each other up. We come together to come together. That is a shared purpose we have as a community, and hence, safety is never an issue. I can proudly say the Commons has served as a space for women to form new friendships, for brands to partner up and work on collaborations together, and to really set an example of sisterhood. However, here are a few things I've learned along the way that could help you too. Make things your own. As a person, I'm constantly growing, changing, and evolving. But one thing that has been consistent in my growth is that I am not afraid to be genuine. I am not afraid of falling flat on my face, and failure has never broken me down. In order to truly be authentic, your words and actions need to align with your values. I operate purely on feeling, and those feelings are mostly pure. And that translates into everything I do. That is why I find it easy to spin a little bit of myself in every event. From the artwork to decor to marketing, it all has a little bit of me. Wow, I lost myself. Remember, every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Your biggest competition is yourself. My entire focus is how to get better than what I did last time. It's exhausting, but seeing your vision come to life is also truly rewarding. Remember, Imitation is not a form of flattery. It's lazy. Don't be lazy. Make things your own. Speaking of not being lazy, they say a dream does not become reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination, and hard work. Don't knock the hard work. There are no shortcuts. If you want to achieve something meaningful in life, you have to work for it. You have to be in it for the long haul. You have to be willing to take risks, to face losses, and even fail a few times before you figure it out. Never underestimate the power of having to constantly be on top of your game, be consistent in your purpose, and keep showing up. Be the hardest working person in the room. You see, the thing about getting to the top is, and I read this quote that says, you can't get there by bus, only by hard work and risk, and by not quite knowing what you're doing. What you'll discover will be wonderful. What you'll discover will be yourself. Building others up. In the wise words of my favorite pop icon, Lizzo, if I'm shining, everybody gonna shine. When I started curating the marketplace, I used to reach out to a lot of brands who didn't know who I was. I made cold calls, I slipped into their DMs, I had to do a lot of convincing. It honestly takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there and to align your schedules at home, convince family members, find childcare for your kids, and there are a lot of women who are apprehensive about putting themselves out there. Sometimes all they need is a little push in the right direction and a pep talk. One such woman that we worked with is a lovely girl. Her name is Atya, and she runs a brand called Hatgar. She sells the most beautiful saris. I remember talking to her in January. She had never been at a market before that. And it took me like 20 minutes to convince her to do this for 2 days. And she kept saying, I have a small baby, I can't come out, I don't know who will take care of my child. And I just pushed her to do it. In walks Atya, donned in a sari, selling like a mad woman. She sold out, and she was hooked. After that, Atya was at every marketplace in town. And cut to a few months later in March, when we went to Lahore for the first time, we saw Atya donning her sari with her baby in tow. Her husband and her sister had driven all the way from Karachi to Lahore, and she sold like a mad woman. Make effective and real connections. Networking, marketing, advertising, social media, influencers, the game has changed. Things are not as easy as they used to be, and we have to keep up with the times. The most important lesson that I have learned and taken from the last 2 years is ask nicely, and ye shall receive. In our last event in January 2022, it was our first 2-day event. It was the biggest thing I was ever doing in my life, and I really had to put on my big girl pants, roll up my sleeve, and call a lot of influencers that I used to follow and ask them to support our market. Little did I know that every single woman I called was happy to help, share, support, and show up. All of these cool women that used to intimidate me were actually more than happy and willing to support us. We were respectful. Here's how, I helped. We were respectful of their schedules. We tried not to impose, and more importantly, we made sure we sent them things that they truly enjoyed and remembered. Flowers, chocolate, a handwritten note. These small things can often make a huge impact. I've had one very relevant influencer once tell me that she gets a lot of free stuff all the time, but the bag she received from the Commons was the best thing she's ever gotten. Get over yourself. Politicians, change makers, celebrities, world leaders are only relevant and hold any power when they have people backing them up. If you don't manage to inspire and motivate a group of people who'll say, yeah, I'll come along with you, you are basically nothing. So the true heroes of any movement are the communities that come along with you for the ride. The people who believe and trust in you to say, yes, I'm here, and I will walk beside you, and I will see this through the end with you. But here's the thing. I can go on and on about how to do this and that and the various steps that are put towards building these spaces for our community. But the real honest truth is that when I started the Commons Karachi, I was at one of the lowest parts of my life. I was starting to come out of what I like to call my dark cloud period. I had been dealing with the loss of a parent who I loved dearly, the loss of the person I used to be before I became a mother, and the loss of some friendships and my old life. It was truly a mourning period that lasted a few years. And now when I look back, the Commons and the women who stood by me, who believe in what I do, who send me messages saying our business wouldn't be where it was if it wasn't for you, and who tell me, but you guys are the best in the biz. These women saved me. Without realizing it, this community has become my safe space. So thank you for trusting, for believing, and for being such a big part of my life. I may have built something here, but I can say for sure, it's you guys who have rebuilt me. Thank you.